Hello everyone, it's Alithia here, and today I am making Dawnbringer and Nightbringer Soraka from League of Legends into Life Makeover. There was a gacha a couple of months ago at this point, and I just randomly ended up getting the shoes, which are the hooves. And the moment I saw them, I just knew I had to do either something from World of Warcraft with like a Draenor or Soraka from League of Legends. So I was really happy when I ended up getting them because I wasn't planning on rolling, so I basically got them on my free rolls. I wasn't exactly sure how to approach this as Life Makeover has a severe lack of armor in terms of clothing pieces, so I really just had to go with something that could take the colors from the official Soraka skin and just kind of try to use that to convey the message of this is Soraka, even though it's not armor. It also slightly exposes the side, which can also be seen in her official clothing, and you can also see it in the bottom left corner of the picture. So I thought that was, as good as it gets. So I really didn't take too long on actually getting the pieces for the cosplay that I wanted to do. I got the halo because that just looks like the crown that she has floating around her, and I put the wings that are hair clips because it just reminds me of the wings that are behind her. The hair felt perfect as it has those two pieces that fall on her shoulders, and it just looks like what she actually has in game as well. And as for the leggings or the stockings, there really wasn't anything that was fitting. So I decided to expand my imagination a little bit and just add those ornaments. The most difficult part of this cosplay by far had to be the coloring. The hair was quite simple, there wasn't really much to work with. I had access only to the first couple of dyes because I didn't have the materials for the later ones, so really I kind of had my hands tied with it. I tried going with the orange slash brownish hue that you're seeing right now, but it really just didn't look the best. I tried to see what other options I had, but none of them really had that beautiful glow that I really expected. And this is where all hell broke loose, and I had no idea how to tackle this because the top armor, as you can see, is a deep purple. Looking at the in-game model, not the splash art because that just looks blue, but the actual model has a deep purple color on the breastplate, and then the legs are light blue, and this was really difficult for me to kind of narrow down. There also wasn't any yellow, as you can see, but I needed to put yellow because the staff is yellow and I knew I wasn't going to manage to get that glow from the staff. I played around with the colors for a lot longer than I'd like to admit. I really didn't know how I wanted to approach this because I wanted the base color to be a deep purple, but when I did that, it would either be too dark or not the right shade. And so I figured, you know what? Let's just keep going, keep adding all the other colors, see what we want to have and what we want to show, and to see how it goes. As you can see right now, it's very, very purple, and it didn't look as dreamy as I wanted it to look because Dawnbringer Soraka for me is purples and blues and very pastel colors, and that just didn't translate. I kept going back and forth, and in the final pictures, you'll actually see that I took some pictures with the darker purple and also with the lighter purple. I feel like there were at least a couple of other ways I could have colored this piece and made it look correct, but I am happy with what I went with, and I'm happy with the decisions that I made. actually seized the opportunity here to take advantage of the falling stars and make them yellow because I felt like it added a lot more of that glow that I really, really wanted. As for the makeup, in the actual model, she seems a little bit angry. At first, I wasn't sure what kind of brows I wanted to give her, but then I decided to kind of stick to the source material, if you want to say that. So I went with these slightly arched brows. The eyeshadow was quite difficult for me simply because I didn't know if I wanted to do something more dramatic or tone it down and let the contact lenses speak for themselves. In this skin, she has bright red eyes, and I couldn't really find anything that I had that could fit that, so instead I went with the koi fish, which really, if you didn't look closely, you probably wouldn't know it's a koi fish. Um, but it had, it had the red and it had the yellow, and I'm really struggling with the colors today. So I figured, you know what, that works. After that, I moved on to the lips, and I gave her this slightly blue color. The blush doesn't really matter. The eyelashes didn't really matter. I wanted to experiment a little bit with the face paint, but it turns out I don't really have anything that good. So what I ended up doing with the face paint was just add some of those gold flakes in her eyelashes to really pop out the whole yellow part of the outfit. Now it is time for Nightbringer, and let me tell you, this was so much easier. It honestly felt like a walk in the park compared to Dawnbringer, and a lot of that is because I didn't have to pick out a new outfit, but also because reds and pinks and yellows are much easier to put together, because when there's something missing or not really in its place, it's not as obvious compared to pastel colors. Over here, I wanted to do a deep red, but I wasn't sure exactly how. So I say it was much easier, and it was, but I still had to consider a lot of things. And that was, what is the strongest color here? And why do I want it to be the strongest color? I went with this typical red, and then I just started playing around with the skirt. I wanted to see, what do I want the light to be? Which hue of red? And what orange do I want it to be? As you can see, we're done in 1/4 of the time. Moving on to the hooves, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do here because making them orange didn't really look right. And now I'm going to zoom out in like a few seconds, and you're gonna see that it just doesn't look good with the red portion of the outfit. So I ended up going back and changing them to a different color. I believe it was a brown, maybe a lighter shade of brown. The halo I made a little bit darker. I wanted it to be, a little bit more red. The wings, I thought that was great because they looked like horns, and that kind of added on to it, in my opinion. I was thinking about what I wanted to do with the stars, and I think I just let them go with their yellow hue. I tried the orange and I tried the red, but that didn't really work. The eyebrows. Now I had to go with the angriest eyebrows I had, and although red would fit really well with this outfit, the actual eyes in this skin are blue. They're very, very blue. For a second, I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it my way. She's gonna have red eyes. But then that's not what I want to do with my cosplays. I want to make them as true as possible with as little outside editing as possible. And what I mean by outside editing is further editing the photos outside of the game. I try not to do that. I know there's people who do. There are people who cut out things from the original images and they add it onto their photos. I tried doing that and it just didn't feel right. I didn't like it, so I ended up going with the blue eyes with the yellow bits inside of them. That's one of the first contact lenses you actually get in the game, but they actually worked really well here. Well, these were my cosplays in Life Makeover of Dawnbringer and Nightbringer Soraka. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed my footage. I wonder if it's interesting seeing the process. I hope it is. This was extremely fun. I love doing this. And I hadn't actually done a cosplay in months because, I didn't really feel too motivated. But then I just got it out of nowhere, and I'm really glad I followed my motivation this time. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye bye!